Can you just see if you can guys see me? You can see me, right?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Okay. Well, so you could see me okay, and you could hear me okay? Oh, not from here. I'm going to disconnect from here and then see if you can hear me on the.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, good, good, good. So we are good, right? And let me just see if I can. Oh, could you? Seema Giri's joined. Seema Giri changed. Hey, you want to change your, a build team, guys from a build? Can you just change to a build team? Right? It looks good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm having a little difficulties here, man. Um, Let me put the screen maybe. Can I try and share?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. All right. That's not a problem. Let me just see. Okay.
You can, sir, right now you can mute and
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you are all you are able to hear me. I would request the audience to please confirm in the chat. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to welcome you all to today's exclusive webinar on unlocking your program management potential with PGMP certification. My name is Ashish, and I'm thrilled to be your host today. We have an exciting and insightful session planned for you, packed with valuable content that is designed to elevate your understanding of program management. And today's agenda will cover introduction to program management, strategic program alignment, benefits management, and governance best practices. But before we dive into these topics, let me introduce you to our esteemed speaker, Mr. Upendra Giri, who's also a portfolio management professional. Mr. Giri is a true pioneer in the field of project and program management. As the founder of Astrovix, now Upbuild Global, and he is the founder of Astrovix, and which is now Upbuild Global, and a former president of the PMI North India chapter. He has played a pivotal role in shaping project management landscape in India and beyond. Mr. Giri's career is a testament to the power of strategic program management, and today he will share his deep insights and practical advice to help you on your journey towards program management certification and beyond. We are excited to have you here, sir, and we look forward to an engaging and informative session. Now, without further ado, I would like to hand it over to you to kick things off. Thank you so much.
Hey, Ashish, thank you very much. Guys, could you hear me all right? Ashish, could you validate that?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. Well, you could see that, I'm sitting in a lawyer's office. What could be a better place to be? Because right now I'm visiting India, and I don't know how many of you know, there are 14 lawyers in my family, and I happen to borrow one of my brother's office just to be with you connected, So just excuse me, pardon me on my background, but I thought of just to share this thing with you. So it's gonna be exciting, another 60 minutes, which I can guarantee that for sure. And this can only be made better if we have a very interactive session, because I tend to do these sessions in person, but this is the best option which we have with the virtual situations these days, right after the COVID, but I think the beauty of this is that you could have much more heterogeneous teams from different geographies all over the world. So I know on this session also we have people from different parts of the world today. So this is my privilege to be here with you guys. And, you know, Ahmed is going to assist me because I don't necessarily have my full setup here, my studio, which I'm missing, I happen to have in my home at Silicon Valley, where I have various screens. So I could probably, while sharing my screen, I could be with you and engage with you. But I'm going to have take the assistance from Ahmed to run the slides for me. Thank you very much, everyone. So, Ahmed, I could just ask you just play the slides for me, please.
Sure, sure.
All right. So what you see on the slide is, of course, this is something which gives a snapshot what I'm all about. This is I'm a hardcore civil engineer, and then I decided to pursue my master's in environmental engineering. And post that, in fact, I used to work on a large program that was for NASA, for US, and then I realized that, I was part of a program controls division that time, and it was a $500 million project. In the US, if you contaminate or you do damage to the nature, it is your responsibility to fix and restore it. And that's what I was doing for Navy actually that time. And that's when I fell in love with this body called PMI. It was in year 98 when I came across this organization, but then I started getting ready towards getting my PMP certification, and PMI was celebrating their 30th anniversary, and I was turning 30 myself. Because PMI and we have a very strong bond, birth bond actually. We were both born in the same year. So NASA, of course, had been very near dear to me. This is where I worked. I did a lot of work for them, and then I fell in love with PMI and got my certification and all that in the year 1999. And I think that is the time when everything started opening up for me. And I will walk through the journey as I go through it. The One of the major milestone which happened in my life was leaving the country and getting together with my wife, who was being raised in US. She was 19 and I was 20 when we met first time, but we got married 2 years later, and then I moved to US at the age of 22. And I really wanted to go to this school called Lehigh University. That's in Pennsylvania. That's where my in-laws used to live. And I was like, mesmerized with the campus. It's a beautiful campus. I don't know if you've been to that place or not. I recommend each one of you, if you get a chance to go, the city is called Bethlehem. Lehigh campus is based in the city of Bethlehem, and that's where Bethlehem Steel is there. And the steel which built the entire America, they supply to the steel was that Bethlehem city actually. And civil engineering department was enormous. I will share with you my story, where I had only $13 on my passport when I left India, but then the education was about $100,000 for 2 years. But I solved a big problem of scrap tires in US and then slag from the iron industry. And I will just walk you through very slowly. Ahmed, can you go to the next slide? Because I wanted to just touch up with a lot of things which I have to cover. The most important thing which I wanted to talk about is this journey where learning and relearning has never stopped me, and that's been me. And during COVID time also, my wife and I actually, we got into this unique value proposition where we started writing book, and she became a publisher, and she has written 8 books, and all of them had been international bestseller. I accompanied her on 4 books, and those 4 also became international bestseller. So I had been very engaged during COVID time and post that. And this workshop is all about pre-COVID work, because we were doing in-person classes, especially for program management in Silicon Valley. But I will touch up on the things which we learn out of this whole experience. But it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful synergy and experience, which I can definitely share with you. In 2015, so you could see that 2015 is when I got my PFMP, Portfolio Management Certification. So you want to roll this video? Okay, I can't hear.
This award is named after
You may want to look at the voice.
PMI founders who served as president, as chairman, and secretary of PMI in the 70s. He was instrumental to the creation of PMI regional centers, regional seminars.
The Eric Jeanette Project Management Excellence Award recognizes an individual who makes an outstanding contribution to the project management profession through an act that demonstrates leadership and initiative while advancing project management concepts, practices, and theories. Mr. Upendra Giri has been instrumental in laying down the foundation for project management practices in India. He is the founder and trustee of PMI North India chapter and the charter member of TIE, the Indus Entrepreneurs. Mr. Giri has served as a trusted mentor for government bodies and public sector organizations. helping them select the right projects and create framework for project management implementation. Many government institutions, such as the National Informatics Center, an organization responsible for total IT support of all governments of India, and the Irrigation Department, attributed their project success to the right project management implementations guided by Mr. Giri.
Our Eric Jeanette Project Management Excellence Award recipient, Upendra Gilri. And now,
Thank you. Thank you, Ahmad. You can I wanted to summarize the topic which I was going on before the video. This is the conversation I'm having with Mr. Gadkari, and he was so excited to share the news with me that work which I did with Lehigh University, that was 32 years back. The globally different organizations are able to use the research work which I came up with. So let me just explain. Scrap tires is a big problem in the world. And then, of course, the slag from the iron industry. So I kind of did the research for 2 years, which I got funded from one of the big organizations in US, which paid for my tuition and stipend. I supported 3 undergraduate students under me, and that's how I paved my way for my education. That I was not sure that this would be paving the way for the world for the entire transportation. And by the way, Mr. Gadkari here, the transportation minister for India, is sharing the news that 32 years later, they're able to use the research what was done way back at Lehigh University. So I came up with the 4 applications that time. I think it was 4 applications. One was, if you see, on the highways, there is a black mat kind of thing being put where your car does not skid. So that is where, especially on the cross intersections. So when you need to stop the car, all of a sudden, that's where they put the mat actually. It's a black kind of, it's about 1.5 inches thick mat which you put on the road on the highways, so you could use that. Second was the running tracks. Olympiad are happening, you see the running tracks in the stadium. The tracks were that the design was done, that was my another invention, so that the athlete don't get tired soon, so that scrap tire gets used there. The third one was where the children play in the playgrounds and they don't get hurt, and that's where you put this scrap tire material. So, and then the fourth one were the yoga mats actually. So those were the few inventions which I did at the age of 22. And today I'm very happy to share this thing that, that's led to something very interesting. So this is the conversation I was having a couple of months back with Mr. Gadkari. Anyways, go to the next slide, by the way, if you can go to. So why are we here? So I'm going to talk about why we are here, what is expected of the session, how do we build the career in program management, and next steps forward. So can you just go to the next level? I wanted to have a small understanding who we have in the audience. This is the poll number 1. So the poll number 1, how many years of project experience do you guys have? So if you have less than 3 years, then you may want to choose. So you may want to choose choice A, B for 5 to 10 years, and more than 10 years, C choice. So could you type yours, or you can just run the poll for yourself, guys? Could you do that? So that I can gauge who do we have in the audience. And the next poll, could you run the next poll, guys? Next poll, guys. Great, more than 10 years, which I'm seeing. Muhammad Tosif, thank you for sharing that. The poll number 2, are you familiar with PMI? A, yes, very familiar. B, somewhat familiar. C, no, not familiar at all. Rajni Chatterjee, 10 years. Good, wonderful. So I know that we have kind of mixed audience here. So that's great. It's always wonderful to have people who come with the various backgrounds. So we will, people who are more than 5 and 10 years experience, then we will have to probably, people are saying they're familiar with PMI and all that. So this gives me some idea. So anybody has PMP certification? So I see LB Prasadji, who I very closely worked with I have a case study which I will probably be sharing here. LB Prasad, who worked for Airtel, and he was the person who made Gujarat model work. And we worked together, and that model took Mr. Modi to Prime Minister's seat. And Mr. LB Prasad, who is on the call, myself, if the Taj Mahal was built, it took like, hundreds and thousands of bricks to build Taj Mahal. There were a few bricks which laid by Mr. LB Prasad and myself. So that I could vouch for our work. So wonderful. Thanks for being there, Mr. Prasad. Let's go to the next level. Why do you learn? Why do you go for PGMP? So was PMP not enough? Project management is a technical aspect of getting things done, but the biggest challenge is getting the value delivered. That's the bigger challenge. And those people who take the accountability of value delivered, of course, they get compensated. So people who went through various certifications of surveys, actually, it is finding that more than 58% people who were surveyed, people who got the PGMP, they said they got better salary compensation, especially around up to 42% than if they did not have a certification called PGMP. So I'm sure you are familiar with the PMP, which all of you went through this journey in last 25 years. I had been responsible for training 100,000 people through my company, of course, with my team of 300 odd trainers. And then we got 25,000 people certified. And telecom revolution, we had a credit of certifying more than 10,000 people in telecom itself. So it elevates your professional profile, it increases your earnings, it advances your career for sure. Could you go to the next slide, my friend? Ahmed, could you go to the next slide? By the way, so we are not working in isolation. I never do that. I have this philosophy of solid research, and I go reach out to Forrester, Forbes, your World Economic Forum, and various bodies who give us insight. Of course, PMI always I rely on, but I do my own additional research. So if you look at this particular slide, you will see in 2015, World Economic Forum said the complex problem solving is the top skill you must possess, right? And there were some soft skills, a lot of focus on soft skills. It moved towards critical thinking, creativity was introduced, cognitive flexibility was introduced in 2020. So you could see the trend. Now they wanted people with the soft skills. Then it went to 2020, more the time which we are living. It is more to do with the IQ clubbed with active learning and learning strategies. So notice that 2025 is going to be exciting time. And that's what I wanted you to prepare for. It's not analytical thinking on innovation anymore. It is about I learned so much every day from LinkedIn. Earlier, people used to think that people waste time on internet. I don't. I learned so much because my philosophy is when you are consuming Either you are a consumer on LinkedIn or you're a contributor. So people who are sitting on the side, they are scrolling, they're consuming a lot of content. I do that a lot. But then those people who start contributing, so consuming and contribution, because once you ace your skill, you want to contribute. And those people who want to contribute, they go on LinkedIn, the best platform for micro learning for yourself and people you want to share your wisdom with others, because your IQ can help you, your EQ can help you to some extent, but your own analytics, own wisdom, own insights will be only coming when you put it to action. So that's me. And let's go to the next slide, guys. So we are moving into that space. Very interesting. Program management skills. You need to have, you have to be a leader. You have to be engaging with the stakeholder, change management. Ask Mr. LB Prasad because when the complex program like eGram has to be rolled out, imagine the variation of various stakeholders, because that's where the Prime Minister's office get involved, CM's office get involved. Then, of course, the people who will execute the project, like people at Airtel, various levels. We as a organization, we set up a PMO for Airtel that time. So, of course, we are part of that stakeholder engagement. So the change management is going to be next big challenge for companies, because delivering deliverables is not enough anymore. It is about benefit realization, and benefit does not come without effective change management. And you need to engage with the audience, of course, communication skills. You need to have very good analytical, right? Uh, uh, and then, of course, integration with other projects and achieving strategic objectives and program management capability. And that's what I'm going to focus more on. And you need to have a strategic perspective, because we need to walk away from technical aspect of project management. That doesn't work anymore. You need to move past the technical to get into strategic side of things. Can you go to the next slide, my friend? Look at this. It's strategic planning and vision, crafting and aligning. Somebody said it was the gentleman, uh, Jim Collins. He said in building world-class companies, strategy is only 1%. 99% is alignment. Would you agree with me? If you agree with me, why could I see some thumbs up? If you agree with me. If you want to create a world-class company, strategy is only 1%. 99% is alignment. So the very powerful role is of a program manager, strategic planning and vision. Leadership and team building, it doesn't happen without it. Analytical thinking, of course. So I talked about, and this is the role, collaboration is key. This would be, somebody's asking, Ashish, a recording can be shared. Yes, of course, we always do that. Anyways, let's go to the next slide. So you were saying that where the world is moving, right? Next slide, guys. So people thought projects or large projects and program is same thing. Not. Sorry to put it this way. Project and programs are two different animals, guys. Don't underestimate the gap. Let's look at it. What is the so where could be subset or similarity? So delivers agreed deliverables within schedule, budget, and quality constraints. That's the part of the project which every one of you on this call is all about. But what we have to move to from a project to program, where you own the realization of the benefit. You initiate various projects, but there has to be interdependencies. That's where the delicacies fall, because it's in the entire house, where the leakages are in the plumbing, which I feel in India is a big problem, by the way. But that's the example you can take. This simple same pipe, single pipe, is like a project. But wherever you need the workmanship, you need to get additional joints being made, but the supply has to be without any interruption and without any leakage. So the joints could be the problem, and that's where the biggest challenge comes for program managers. When you look at interdependencies with various other projects and programs and within part of the portfolio. That's where the problem lies. And that's where we are here to make sure that you understand the complexity and how do you overcome that. And that's what this session is all about. Could you go to the next slide, my friend? Look at this gentleman. Have you heard of Mr. Ram Charan? He's the most powerful man, the visionary. And this slide, this particular picture is when um, he was counseling, having the meeting in 2015. I think it was 3rd November in 2015. He had a meeting. Actually, Mr. Modi, when he became the Prime Minister of India, the government of India collaborated with World Economic Forum. And then Fortune Global Magazine, and they got together and they organized the 500 CEOs from all over the world. I had a privilege to be there in that audience, and that day Mr. Ram Charan was interviewing Larry Page. And Ram Charan, how many people know Ram Charan? Please raise your thumbs up. How many people know Mr. Ram Charan? And he's, by the way, right from here where I'm speaking from. He's from Hapur, Pulakwa rather. So he's from Pulakwa, Rajpur, and he one of the top most rated management guru in the world today. You know, he literally replaced Mr. C.K. Prahlad, you know. So C.K. Prahlad was definitely visionary, and we lost him, unfortunately, too early. But Ram Charan is the gentleman who coaches, mentors all these great leaders in the world. And I had a long conversation at various forums with the gentleman. I get mesmerized. I get so much learning coming out of him all the time. So vision, mission, and strategies and objectives, they're all there in the company. And then there are projects and portfolios and then operations, and then organizational resources get consumed. But the art of getting things done, that he is the gentleman who has nailed it. I would advise that this is the cover page of the book, which each one of you should read. It's called Execution, the Discipline of Getting Things Done. I recommend you guys to read this book for sure. You know, so you will start appreciating what I'm talking about more once you go through this process. Gentlemen, could you go to the next slide? So guys, let's look at, what is the difference between these three layers? Project management, which all of you have PMPs, so you know how to deliver project and product and services. You know the iron triangle, how to manage it very, very well. Scope, time, cost, of course, within that parameter of quality. But then program management is the next upgrade for yourself, because then it is the sponsored by the business. It is the ownership of the benefit. When you are juggling various projects at the same time, alignment of project with the overall program benefit, compliance with program management standards. But so it means that you need to have good understanding of PMP or PMBOK. Various versions of PMBOK have gone through. We are on the 7th version now. I have taught in every single version, right from starting from version 1. So you need to understand project management. Those people who are on the call, guys, don't get upset or don't get disappointed that if I'm talking too much on program management. But if you have 0 to 5 years of experience, you are covered. We will help you to get to that stage also. Portfolio management, it's going to be the next big thing, but it will take another 5 years. So you and I should be focusing only on the middle layer right now, the program management layer. Portfolio, program, and project management are aligned or driven by organizational strategies. They differ in a way they contribute to the strategic goals. That's the difference fundamentally. My friend, go to the next slide. See, these are the broken chains, by the way. These are the broken chains in the system. Doing things right is being taught to us by PMBOK and PMP certification. But then benefit realization, that's where most companies lack. It's a broken link. Then another broken link is a portfolio management. So people who are CXOs, I would say they should all go through portfolio management certification. I tell you. So of course, people at that level, they will think that why we have to go through another certification. If they have to go to Harvard to do executive program, I would say that they should do portfolio management. They should do that. That should become prerequisite to go to Harvard by the executive MBA programs. So go to the next level. Next slide, guys. So you notice, oh, could you go back? So notice on a project management, there are a lot of those small things getting things done. What is this all about? This, we nailed it actually in our PMP certification. So Mr. Prasad and everybody else who is PMP already, they would remember. They would all remember. Can you click that? Can you go to the next level? Go to the next slide. By the way, those people who have 0 to 5 years experience, they must nail this in our PMP certification. Our team is on the line. Give them that, hey, I want to nail this process. They have 5 process group, 49, those process groups are there, processes are there, knowledge areas are there, 9 knowledge areas. So you need to nail from project charter to creating a project plan, and then making sure project plan get delivered. And then of course, so product service results. Let me just give you just one small insight why Metro became successful in Delhi and became the solution provider for the whole world. That secret is right here in the very first line called Project Charter. So when Mr. Chiridharan was asked to lead this Metro, he was later on called Metro Man. He was asked to lead the Delhi Metro, especially before this Commonwealth Games in Delhi. So that project needed a very different level of authority, so that he could execute, because Delhi is very congested city, and driving a massive transformation and transportation system was not easy thing to do. So when he took the project and became a project manager or leader for the project, I would say he was a program manager actually, but we people called him that time project manager, and he led it in a way that he was completely authorized. Do you know that he resigned 3 times? Because he said to government of India, if you want to let me drive this project, I must have complete, you want 100% accountability, then I need 100% authority of executing this project. And that authorization lies in the project charter. We will teach you how do you get the capability and insights and inputs. How do you become a super project manager first, and then later on a powerful program manager? And some of them are already on this call. So could you go to the next slide, guys? What is program management? How does it look like? So program management, program is all XYZ. There are various components. Component 1, 2, 3, project D, E, F, and J. Each one of them has so much complexity to begin with. So much complexity to begin with. But how do you bring another level of complexity? So remember the previous chart. That chart would be embedded at every single level. Can you click that for me, please? So project D, E, F, J would be replaced by the complete framework, which I shared with you from a previous slide. Can you go to the next? So you see that how these process get followed. Process of defined in PMBOK 7th version or 6th version, they get utilized and they get put in such a manner that you are able to deliver the program which has to be executed. But the complexity lies in the dependencies, the challenges among the stakeholder, the communication, the authority, the sign off, the approvals, the logistics, the supply chain, all sorts of challenge you will. And then, by the way, I'm just talking to Oracle, managing director of Oracle. We are signing up as a partner with them on these all these speed trains which are going to be rolled out, and most likely the project between Dubai and Mumbai, all these kind of mega projects. So I appreciate this much more as a civil and environmental engineer, because these are the higher level of complexities. In Delhi, what is happening, that because of the climate situations happening in the world, the change is happening so fast, whether we want it or not, it is happening. So we don't have our house in order, so that the change happening, internal or external, we are not able to cope up with the change. That's one challenge. Nature is behaving very erratic. So program management has to become very powerful. So let's look at the program management, what go deeper into. As far as standard for program management is concerned, this is version 4, which I was teaching pre-COVID. Recently, PMI has come out with a 5th standard. So in here, you will notice that these are 5, these circles here. These are domains. So 5 of them: program strategy alignment, program benefit management, program stakeholder engagement, program governance, and then in the middle, it's called program life cycle. So this was from the perspective of let's explain the program life cycle. So when we look at the program life cycle, then it is program definition. So program definition, program formulation. I'm looking at the box below, first box below, the circle. So look at program definition, program formulation, program planning, program delivery, component authorization and planning, component oversight and integration, component transition and closure. Now, this particular format which you see, it's very, very complex, but it's like spaghetti being served and you're asked to take out every thread out of the spaghetti. But once you get organized, once you get structured, you are in complete control. And that's what is required in large complex programs. And complexity every day is increasing day by day. Or opportunities are being thrown on us day by day, whether it's AI adoption, whether it's smart goals and strategies for climate change, or it is about cybersecurity adoption, or it is about food security in the world, or it is terrorism in the world. All these complexities can be resolved if we are equipped with right project, program, and portfolio management kind of capabilities. So project management talks about getting it done, which we learned it very well. But the program management talks about prioritization and benefit realization when you need it. Timing is very essential in program management. Then the third one is more important. It's about doing the right things. The right things is the challenge for most people. Most leaders are stuck with which things they should be focusing on, their energy, their resources, and things like that. Can you move to the next slide, my friend? So this was the 3 months back, 4 months back. Now, this is the beautiful thing, and that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm so very excited about this particular slide, because now principles of program management is focusing more about stakeholders, because you need to keep them in your mind. This is the 7th. These are not prescriptions, but they say keep it in mind when you are when you are architecting your program framework or infrastructure. Look at the synergies between various programs. There could be complementary things happening. I see all the time, especially in the government departments, because I happen to help projects like Varanasi transformation, Ayodhya transformation, your postal reform, e-governance reform, your police reform, irrigation reform. So when you talk about, and right now I'm talking to a ministry for, it's called environment, pollution, and climate change. And one of the ministries, so of course, that's my pet subject. That's my domain. And I love to be associating with people and see how can we solve the bigger problem of the planet. So change, risk, governance, leadership, teams of teams, this comes from agile concept, because people, you want to take baby steps, but don't keep a, don't overlook, or don't ignore the bigger picture. When you are taking baby steps, because baby steps are there to get you to the right place by pivoting. But it's like this, going from Delhi to Missouri, for example, going from LA to Silicon Valley, you need to know your start to finish. And then, of course, as you will find that GPS telling you, or your Uber is, or whatever system you have, the GPS is telling you that you need to take the sideways, or you take the some of the tertiary or secondary roads, because the traffic conditions could be changing, varying. So that is where you need to look at from the agility concepts, and which are the norms for getting things done. So most people follow the hybrid model. So in our PMP certification classes, we teach all that these days, but how the hybrid model really works. So those of you guys who have come from hardcore project member background, they have no understanding of hybrid, or they don't understand the agile concept, I will encourage you to go for PMP, revising your concept in the PMP workshop. So because now PMI has incorporated in the seventh version of PMBOK all these concepts. I hugely encourage. It's not only for certification perspective, it's to learn, and for you to learn and survive and thrive in today's workplace. That's must have concept. So this is nothing but the principle of program management. Now that is I was talking about, 5 domains which were there earlier. There's some changes, only the names are changed. So if you look at, there's a concept called, there's a strategic alignment is probably there, of course. Then there is a benefit management, stakeholder engagement, life cycle management, and then of course governance framework. So you see some changes as far as nomenclature is concerned, but the big change is that they introduced the sixth domain, this sixth domain called collaboration. And collaboration is the outer circle, which is being represented here to increase the engagement, alignment, transparency, and consultative approach. And that is required in the program manager's role today. So this class, which is required to be done, to be taught, then 1 hour, how much can I cover? But I can only give you some perspective, that it gives you some insights that where the world is moving, which direction the world is moving. I feel as if I'm revisiting 20-year back Upendra, because that's when I came to India and brought this concept. It was 22 years actually. When I was the second PMP from India, by the way. And I got my PMP in 99, and I wanted to celebrate and share. And then with the people, and that's what ended up happening, So it's been a magical transformation, from personally gratifying for me, personally and professionally. And I'm yet again with very interesting model called program management. Why do you need that? Of course, the good slide, alignment with the strategic goals, so that you can do effectively risk management. You can, and your enterprise resources can be used. And then your decision making for a portfolio perspective and program management perspective, you can do much better. And then of course you focus on the value delivery, delivering value to stakeholders by ensuring that output of all project contributors the desired outcome which is required. So it is about connecting the outcome from each project, because it's all value driven now. So change management, people, I think the next thing we should be probably bringing is certification on change management. because that's very, very important. Because once you delivered something and it's not being adopted properly, like we have been asked by Microsoft to roll out the Copilot AI for whole India. We are in discussions with them. It's all about change management. How do we increase? By the way, my productivity has increased by 3 times since Copilot has come out. My own productivity has gone 3 times, guys. You should call me. I will give you my number on the one of the slide. Call me. How do I do that? This is insane. It's incredible. I think we are blessed to have tools and technique and methodology today. It's just awesome. So let's go to the next slide. Well, this is what is program management strategic objective come from top down. The benefit realization happens bottom up. I think we talked about a little bit. For you can go to the skip this, but we will explain this thing in little detail in the class. But I think I kind of covered this in, and this is the ecosystem. As a program manager, you have PMOs, project managers, sponsors, program teams, and the steering committee. And this is how this. So thanks. This is the from PMBOK PMI standard version 4 actually. So go to the next slide. We can quickly go through because I have a lot to cover. Your journey for PGMP, let's go. How do you go for certification itself? Because I wanted to cover that. And then let's see. Can you go next slide? Next slide. So let's talk about PGMP certification. So those people who have 48 months of experience in project management and 84 months of experience in program management, which is about in last 15 years. If you did not have a degree, most people on this call would have a degree. So the second option will apply for each one of you guys, that you need to only have 4 years of experience in project management and additional 4 years of experience in program management to go for this certification. But for those people who are new to project management, I would say that they should go for PMP certification. Your daughter, your son is graduating from college, and you are worried about what will happen, whether they will get job, this and that. Guess what? Doesn't matter which stream they graduated from, get them a CAPM certification. CAPM is certification, CAPM, Certified Associate in Project Management, even if they're fresh graduate out of college. For those people, I know there are parents on the call, they're worried, they get questioned all the time, they are unsure of future. Believe me, I will be their mentor. I will adopt them, by the way. I will adopt. If your children who are not sure what to do in life, I will adopt them. All right, let's go to the next slide. So you go through this journey with us, go through the class, which we will be announcing very shortly. 23 contact hours of training. You fill up the application, you pay the fee. There would be a panel review, which will take about 10 days. If you get failed, if somehow they disapprove you, they give you 90 days to submit your credentials and revise your application. And then I tell you, this is not a very difficult task. It could be cumbersome. Our teams are on by the side with you right from beginning, right from post this session. They will handhold you, but ensure that you go through this journey. We go through this journey. You are not alone. We are here together. And as I said, we created 25,000 PMPs. My mission is in next 5 years, I would like to create 5,000 PGMPs coming from the world. Although there are only about 3,000 in the world, but I'm taking the onus of 5,000. If you want to be the person joining this workforce with me and exploring and seeing that how world could use your capability, competence, and contribution to the success they can see with you standing by yourself, I would like to be that person. If you were thinking that you want to be that person, raise your hand. Raise your hand, guys. I don't see raising hand. I see some. Cool. Thank you. Wonderful. So wonderful. Can you take me to the next slide, guys? So as I said, I think we already covered why get certified. You know that, you should do this as soon as possible because, by the way, never get worried because this is a beautiful slide because this is, I encourage each one of you guys. Can you guys go to a place called dice.com? Do this exercise for me. Dice.com. And you type that as if you're looking for a role called program manager in America. Program manager. This exercise, by the way, dice, dice.com. And in there, as if you're looking for a job as a program manager. Can somebody do it for me? Do you know how many vacancies are there? Somebody has to give me this answer. Somebody can give me an answer? Nobody could give me the answer? Do you know how many vacancies are there? Can you type it? Add technical program manager. Put a technical in front of it. Then say technical program manager. Rajneesh Chatta Sahab, could you do this for me? 60,845. The magic happened here. So technical is something which you have no choice but to learn, but you need to be a program manager first. So technical program manager, all these jobs are waiting for you guys. Guarantee you. I guarantee you. I guarantee you guys. Full time 52,679. Full time. Why I'm saying this? When you don't have data, I came to India 25 years back, 22 years back, and people thought, did I do my research? Did I do the survey? Did I pay a survey agency? Why should I go to India? No brainer. The developing world needs to be developed. 1.4 billion people have to be fed, nurtured, nourished, have to be provided with facilities, food, healthcare, whatnot. You can never go wrong. And these complex programs have to be delivered. Government's every scheme is a program, guys. Would you agree with me? Government's every scheme, which recently the budget for India was recently launched. The upskilling, reskilling was the number 2 bullet. I would say the second bullet for the budget was about what we are talking about. That's what it needs. Africa, there are a lot of people in Africa from here. I launched a company called One Africa Limited in 2012-13. I'm eyeing for Africa. I want to go to Africa to cut the diamond below the ground and above the ground. Guys, get ready. My journey, if you follow me on my LinkedIn, you will know what I'm talking about. I'm coming. I tried 10 years back when we were helping Airtel on their Zen acquisition, and that happened, and we were building the competence and capability, which we did for them in India. We wanted to do the same thing, and that's when I wanted to take this concept to Africa, but it was a little too early for me, but it's just ripe. It's just ripe. Next slide, guys. Numbers. If you happen to be one of those roles right now, I'm sure you are, or some of them, they are not here. If this is you, this class is for you, guys, for sure. For sure. Product owner, project manager, business analyst, PMO, program coordinator, project coordinator, anything. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Next slide, guys. You know what we deliver? We deliver 23 hours of contact hours. Why? Because we bring 100,000 people of providing certifications and training. We have done 3,500 sessions like this, by the way. Most of the sessions which you used to do were in person. All of them were in person. But today I feel so good that I could connect from anywhere. I'm talking to folks there are a lot of people from right now from Middle East, Africa, Singapore, US right now on this call. So it's a wonderful experience. Great. Thank you so much. Next. By the way, in order to make this thing happen, we will walk you through, of course, we have put our curriculum in such a manner that this is exciting because we not only bring the PMI standard, we follow that as a Bible, but we bring the insight of our own learnings from the field. We bring the expert who have done it several times. This is not a new domain for us. It's been done for last 30 odd years. We have lived this life. And that's the whole idea here. So go to the next slide, my friend. These are the curriculum, actually. We will go in deeper once we go through this program. But I wanted to just, because the time is running out very shortly. So go to the next slide, because I know that people want to. So how do you pass this exam? It is 180 questions. You would be only tested on 175. If you attempt 5 of them wrong or right, you would not get a benefit or you would not be penalized. And then you are given 2 breaks, 10 minutes each. And then the time wise, it's pretty much there. Well, for this webinar, we will give a e-certificate for participation for 1 hour PDU, which we have promised for attending the session, PDU 1 hour, to maintain your PMP certification. For those who are certified, they get PDUs. Those people who have not gotten any certification, they get a contact hour certification. So let's go to the next slide. Next slide, guys. So PMI charges, for certification exam fee, PMI charges almost $1,939 for you to take the exam. It is just the PMI's fees. Nothing to do with the curriculum, nothing to do with the class. It's just the certification, which is almost 50%, which is almost twice as much of your PMP certification, by the way. If you remember your PMP, this is the twice as much because the value you get is enormous. So this is to be paid to PMI. Go to the next class. Next slide, sorry. So look at this. There are 3,000 PFMPs. I'm one of them in the world. There are 10,000 PMPs. You could be one of them tomorrow. And tomorrow, I literally mean 6 weeks time when you sit in the class. So 6 weeks, we would be able to nail it. So if we are willing, then we have all things ready. The bus is ready to have fun and it's leaving very soon. Under you, if there are people who are willing to go for PMP or CAPM, there are 1.5 million people. Can you imagine that how many people have had opportunity to move up the ladder because it was not necessarily positioned or the world was not ripe for this certification. Now it is. And if you wait for another couple of years, because time is changing so fast, you might miss the boat. That is for sure. So doing the right things, portfolio management. By the way, this is our Manoj Kohli, gentleman who was the CEO at that time when we were providing our services to Airtel. And as I said, Mr. LB Prasad is there on the call and he appreciated our work and he's a visionary guy, SoftBank chairman. He was leading that. He's advisor to a lot of places these days. And he loved my couple of inputs. And by the way, we are starting Milestone Master series where we will be interviewing people on this call who have taken our workshops in past. Even the smallest session you have taken with us, you may want to put your request that I want to host you for your experience, your journey, where you started, where you are heading. I would love to host you on my channel. That is called Milestone Masters. It would be a full-fledged uh, podcast, which would be a video based, and we'll bring it to you guys very shortly. So those of you who are interested to be celebrated for what you do every day, for the people, the difference which you create in people's life, I want to hear a thumbs up, and I want to see you in my next podcast. Thank you very much. Great. Excellent. Excellent. Wonderful. I see so many claps coming. This is by the way, when I landed in America and web after creating a lot of noise, a lot of buzz, sitting a PMI in India and all that in 2015, I went back, I got my PFMP, and then I started looking why the leaders in the world are not adopting program management. Guess what? This team, these are chapter presidents of Silicon Valley chapter, and I hosted them the very first session. This is my class, by the way. You see the class. I love these classes when there is an interaction. So I request, if you really want to get the best out of me as a person, invite me to your campus, your facility. I will see to it that not only you, how tightly you get aligned with your CXO, your chairman, and their philosophy and their methodology framework and the alignment with the whole organization, and your success becomes 30% more guaranteed. That's my commitment to you guys. But it has to be in-person session at your premises and your companies. And most telecom companies have seen that, witnessed it in my past experiences. So I'm not just talking just for the sake of talking here. I love what I do. And this is infectious. I can tell you that. This is like, NASA class in a NASA, right? So this is the video which I wanted to play, if this is possible. It is one of the participants.
Hi, my name is Steve Berriman, and I am a seasoned project and program manager. Been doing that for the last 25 years. Right now I'm an independent consultant, and I am I've been doing project and program management for quite a while, and I did project management instinctively, and when I got my PMP, that helped clarify a lot of the things I was doing. And now I'm doing program management based on my experience, and I wanted a formal structure with how I can do this in a more robust and formal way.
So what was your biggest takeaway from this masterclass?
It's sort of a new field, and it's interesting. The PGMP program has been around for a while. I've been aware of it for about the last 10 years or so, and I always wanted to take a class, but they hadn't really ever been available. Now there was one available, so I jumped on the opportunity. And so I've learned a lot, but also going through it, I realized there's a lot of content and improvements that can be made. So I'm excited about getting involved in that process and contributing and helping to improve the body of knowledge around program management.
What did you think about the instructor in the facility?
Yeah, the instructor, so Upendra has a lot of experience. He has a story for almost everything. He's worked in India, worked in Europe, worked in the Middle East, worked in the United States. And the facilities here are nice. It's a classroom setting in a university type of setting. So it really facilitates the educational mission and the educational feel of the class.
What possibilities are you excited about now?
I'm excited about starting to use some of these tools out in the real world. Again, we've been doing things like this and managing by instinct and experience. Now that we have a formal framework, and it puts into clarity a lot of the things you knew in your gut, and now you have a more formal definition for them. And so learning that, passing the test, and then implementing it, being able to use that and move up the value chain from being experienced project manager, program manager, into a real master program manager.
What advice do you have for those people who might be sitting on the fence or maybe not sure because program management is so new? Like you were saying, you were thinking about it for some time. So what advice would you have for those kind of people?
I would think, look into it, and if you've been thinking about doing it, and I had been thinking about doing it for a long time, but the opportunities to get certified weren't as readily available, and I think that's changing. And so if there's more demand out there in the marketplace and you also improve the materials, then you will be able to provide, I think in the next iteration of the standards for program management, those will be much better, and I think there will be a expanding group of people who will be able to teach the classes, and hopefully an expanding group of people that want to take these classes. And I think especially, experienced project managers that have been doing this for 15 years or 20 years and are looking for the next thing in their career about what can they learn about, what sort of new skills can they get, and how do they move up the value chain and, become a trusted advisor to more senior level people.
And would you recommend Oscar's masterclass?
Yeah, I would. Again, it's a new field, and having these classes available now is something that's exciting. So now we can hopefully start to move it forward and expand the population of people that are educated on program management.
Thank you.
So next slide. So what you heard so far, so can you go back? I wanted to emphasize this one. So here, you can stop it. So the gentleman, if you notice, this is the old class and the banner is OSCO. I was experimenting in Silicon Valley. And after I established the methodology framework and all that, and that's 6 years back, I started doing that. Now I realized that the world is ready now. So I always been ahead of time. Went to engineering, master's in environmental engineering 32 years back. The world is still trying to catch up on this problem. Brought PMI, PMP certification in way back 22 years back. And the whole world went chasing that, and this PMI is still promoting PMP even today. And most people just only know PMP. Let's talk about raising the bar. Let's about really solving this most complex problem in the world. And I challenge you, I invite you for this special session, which I'm conducting, is starting, and this is going to be virtual also. Let's go to the next slide. So if you liked any part of this session, next slide. I invite each one of you for these 6 days will transform you, I guarantee. This would be 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. IST, Indian Standard Time, which could be PDT, could be 6:30 in the morning to 10:30 morning. So this is going to be the Zoom-based class. And believe me, I've not shared the templates, tools, framework, methodology, insights, because there's so much goes into it. And then, of course, group discussions and everything. When you create, we will make you create a business case. We'll make you create a program charter. We'll make you create the benefit realization plan. We'll make you create change management plan. We'll make you create stakeholder engagement plan. So all that would be part of this. So I invite you to this very special session. But then everybody says that, you know what is the catch then? Of course, there's always catch, because nothing comes free, right, in the world, especially which delivers value. If you go for getting Apple Watch, there are a lot of tools out there. Why do you go for Apple? Why do you go for? So we are a premier organization because we are a boutique firm. We not only teach, because we are professionals first. We are consultant, and we solve the complex problems for the industry first. Then we bring the knowledge and wisdom and share that with the people. That's our differentiator. We are not typical people who are just mugging up the standard and just keep putting the slides, right? Because anybody can do it. It is the wisdom, the insight, the experience and expertise which you bring to the table. So what is the magic? Can you roll out, the price point? Because there are people who are asking me, what is that? What is the catch? So the regular price, by the way, the class this Steve attended, it was $3,000 in Silicon Valley. So which was way back, hold on a second. It was $3,000, but then COVID hit. Then we said, we're going to make it available for 50% of the price. So regular price is now 50% of what I was teaching in Silicon Valley. And this is the web-based solution now. 14,000 of $1,495 and fast track savers, which would be 2 weeks prior to this class, which is going to be from the date 9th September. So 2 weeks prior, this will close at $1,195. If you guys come 3 or more, the price becomes $995. $995. This is 2 weeks prior to the date which I already shared with you. Okay. Now, this is the fast track saver. Now you want to know early bird, right? Early bird, of course, you woke up today, you are the awakened bird, not early bird. You are awakened bird, I would say, which is, of course, so early bird is, what is the price? Can you give me a price, guys? So early bird individual price is $995, which is same as 3 people for fast track one. But then let's go to the next one. That's called early bird for 3 and more. Then another $50 off for the group. They can, you can, and only for today, for attendees. Don't click it yet because I wanted to, because these are awakened world. Awakened world are on this call right now. And those are the people. Select only. I'm selecting only, and they will only get this price. I'm selecting only 6 people today. Because I am not going to take more than 15 people in my session. 6 will be for today only, for this special price. Only 6. Can you give me, because somebody called me and they said, please, they cannot attend the session. Please book for my people, 3 people from our company will come. And this is from Indian government, by the way. So they blocked that already. So I was earlier thinking of 9, but today I have to stop it at 6 only. So for you today, the 6 people who could be the lucky ones, can you roll out the price? $795, guys. It is less than the price. It is less than the price what PMI charging for their own taking the exam, which is almost it's about $1,000 and up, right? And if you come more than 3 people and more, 2 people, 2 batches come, then this is what you get. Can you roll it out, guys? $700 for 3 or more. As I said, only 6 people. 6 people. If you pay in dollars, here's the catch. If you pay in dollars, then you will be making payment for Upbuild Global Inc., our US company. If you're paying from India, then you convert into rupees. Then you have to add GST to this price. So this is the advantage you could have, that you could pay in dollars, which could be $700, because we are still figuring out, because we have just recently started our India operations and we want to be available for whole world to be serviced. Nobody should be left behind on this transformation times what the world is going through. So with this, I invite you, if you are thinking, if it moved you a bit, if your thinking had been thinking, this is your opportunity. So talk to our people, put your email. You definitely put a that you are interested. Our guys would take care of you. There would be online. They would definitely connect with you and take this conversation forward. But besides all this, if you anything which I can do for you or for your children, please send me your bio or your children's bio, how can I help you or your family in whatever form or shape? Because I have my son who is 26 years old. He buys old Victorian homes and he converts them, revives them on sustainability, makes them sustainable, and makes them, rents them for the people for using them. Those properties were built 150 years old, for 150 years old, right? My daughter saves the children who are suicidal by her clothing brand. Don't Die Clothing, look out for her. She saves children who are suicidal by her clothing brand called Don't Die Clothing. And it is a streetwear company. So I have, and my wife runs a publishing company. If you are interested in writing a book because you want to be famous and popular and you want to be a coach, mentor, I think that, so we bring this package deal where we could help your children to become entrepreneurs of the future. And that's my, we don't necessarily charge for those services because that's something I feel that every child needs needs to blossom, and they're gifted. And to find the gift that God has given them, it generally is very difficult for people. I'm 55 years old. I feel the pain of all the parents who are out there. So guys, thank you very much for being, and can you click further? And then I think this was it. I wanted to, this is my email address, and you can send me email, your resume, your qualification. I will love to help you go through this journey. You are not alone. I would be there till you succeed. And thanks for all the time and all the beautiful flowers and gifts and hearts which I got. Thank you so much. And I really, really, really appreciate each one of your time. So I think although that time, we kind of overdid it a little bit, but I hope you like the session. If you like the session, I would love to see if you can put on 1 to 10 scale, 1 to 10 scale, what is your rating for this session on 1 to 10? Sachin Goswami, 10, 10, 10, 10. Virenji, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 9. Tamish, 10 out of 10, 9, 10. So I could live with it. And there's a room for me to improve from 9 to 10. Of course, nobody gave me 11. So I need to make sure that I get 11 next time, because that's what used to happen in my PMP sessions. Wonderful. I really, really appreciate each one of you guys spending time, and thank you so very much. If you have any question I can answer, I would love to spend a little more time here. I know that it's getting late, but I would love to take a few questions if that's okay. So any question, guys, this is your chance. If anybody raises hand, we can unmute that person. Anybody raising hand and they have a question, my team can unmute. Can you unmute if somebody has the question, guys? Somebody asked the importance of WBS. So WBS comes from I used to call it a keystone in the project. So WBS is nothing but work breakdown structure. If you want to eat the whole elephant, how would you start? Where will you start? One bite at a time. But which bite you want to take, WBS will help you do that. So basically what you do is out of the whole scope of the work, which you need to be, you need to deliver. So it has to be logically defined and broken down, depending upon the geography or the timing or the similarity of the work. You try to combine that in, together so that you can divide and rule. It's like, concept of divide and rule, so that you can deliver against the every component which comes out of that broad level of bifurcation or dividing the WBS to the next level. Still, I haven't done my PMP certificate, even though I did my PMP from Rajneesh Chattazab. When was your PMP certification training? That Rajneesh, when did you do that? Rajneesh, when did you do your workshop? That will tell me what you should do today. Which year did you do that? 8 years ago. I would say that this shine which you could have leveraged that time, it was wonderful that time. PMP was good enough. You should definitely go for PGMP today. So somebody asked me what is different between program management and what was this question? Project and program management. So project could be very small. Your child going to school and their homework is given by your school teacher to a child is a project. But then when you look at, your child has to do better in the school. So what sort of things he has to do or she has to do? So there would be a whole bunch of things she has to excel at. That's a programmatic approach. And how do you go about doing each activity as a project, but overall performance being improved? That would be done in a programmatic fashion, and which will require, the hygiene, the workplace, the quality of the teacher, the facilities. A whole bunch of things have to be improved. So imagine that's a very small level. I'm talking about a programmatic thought first. Once you understand the thought, you can apply in a complex project. For example, suppose you want to roll out AI in your company. How AI is not just you buy certain softwares and roll it out, right? It requires one project could be just assessing, are you artificial intelligence ready organization? That could be one project. Then architecting the to be state of the organization, that could be another project. Then there could be that we need to do we buy certain product from outside, integrate, and there some integration work required. So those would be some projects. So when we bring the projects and product together in a systematic and organized fashion, then it gives the birth to a program, large program. So project become the smaller components which come together to deliver a bigger objective, business goal, and the business value to the organization. Any other question, guys? So guys, any other question I can answer? Any one of you guys, those people who have then the PMP, those people who have done PMP from me, if you can bring your certificate or you can bring a proof that you were part of my class today only for this webinar, only for this session, Rajneesh, you qualify for another $100 of discount from my side. Not to waste your time on PMP, go for PGMP straight. One gift only for you. And for each one of you, I have another gift. Send me your resume. I will evaluate and give you my input which certification will be suitable for you, for your stage and age, and the opportunity in the region and the place where you are. I will give my postmortem report after assessing your resume. I will personally do that. Rajneesh ji will get back to you, team, by Monday. Thank you. How do performance management as a program management? Of course, program management is about delivering the business value or the benefit for them. So how does the team perform, or every project performs within the bigger broad spectrum of the program? You need to continuously, that's where uh, your infrastructure would come to play, your team management capability, your leadership, and then of course how do you intervene for the road blockers for your team to perform better. So let me share a scenario. There was a gentleman who came on my session long time back, and they were setting up a pipeline between Rajasthan, because the government of India discovered some oil, but it was crude oil, which could be, the viscosity was very high of this crude oil. So it could not be transported, as a liquid. So they had to set up a pipeline of 750 kilometer long from Rajasthan to Gujarat. It was a massive, massive program. So the biggest challenge from a performance perspective was the 40,000 farmers land has to be acquired, because that on that land, the pipeline has to go. So imagine that level of engagement. It's not technology all the time, which comes as a hurdle. It is the facilitation of the work, which you as a leader who has charisma, capability, and then of course competence to make sure that you are able to facilitate the work and performance gets improvised. Wonderful. I hope you got the answer. Any other question, guys? Any other question? Any other question? All right, guys, I really, really appreciate your time, and thank you so very much. And we are going to be, we're 26 minutes up the time which we allocated, but till now, about 90% people are still here. It's makes me, it's amazing that you could last this long. And I more than happy to, this is my WhatsApp number also, guys. So if you want to WhatsApp on this one, I would be more than happy to discuss about the situation which you are in. All right, folks. Thank you so much. Very much. And so same time, next, last week, last Saturday of the month, you expect another session, by the way. That would be on different topic. And we will start bringing people. And if you want to be a speaker on this platform, please send your request. You can send a request to me directly also. So there are a few people left. If you guys want to have a one-on-one and dialogue, or maybe on this platform, we are more than happy, because I have a couple of more minutes. I want to make sure that, I don't just rush it for you. Rajneesh Chatta Sahab, wonderful. I look forward. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.